patrol. It's a 1/25th scale, it says. Police car patrol. 1949 Mercury. I just think it's a little cool when it goes together, rather than, you know, the super fun of like putting them all together, painting and everything, and gluing it. But this is just a quick snap catalog, and I thought that I would do it. So I already moved the plastic right on the outside. There we go. I don't know if you can see this, because I can't see what you can see, but I shall place it here. And then we have here, out of count thing. And then it appears we have here. Oh, I'm not steering. There's some other columns here. Stuff I might little blemishes I'll probably try to maintain, to fix up and fine tune. I believe this is the interior part, but we shall see once the instructions are within my, once I get to the instructions. I'm gonna grab my sharp implement. I'll be using to like clean things up in here. So, open this. Here is, I think, the windows, minus 2 windows that are designed to be open, I presume. So there's the windows and the brake lights, I believe. Windows. Brake lights. Here are the rest, it seems, of the black pieces. Still attached to their casting mold. It's the type where it's like a vacuum cast mold. You put the plastic in, you vacuum seal it into place, and then it creates these shapes that hold on little pieces, which can be very, very helpful when you have really, really tiny pieces in some of these models. This isn't one of the larger models, but nevertheless, it's really good to be able to have something to kind of joint in your tiny pieces. And it appears we have here decals. Okay. I invite my cats to join, but I'm afraid that doing so probably wouldn't be ideal for the success of not losing a bunch of little pieces. So. It says decal application instructions. So these are the decals. I shall read the instructions. Cut decal apart close to image. Apply one at a time. Dip decal into tepid water until paper backing loosens. Moisten area of model where decal is to be applied to aid in positioning. Slide decal partially off paper backing. Place the decal on model face up and slide paper backing away. Thoroughly blot out the excess water, air bubbles, and any excess emulsion with soft, lint-free cloth. Allow time to dry before handling. Note: if air bubbles or wrinkles form on an irregular or curved surface, cut the decal and press it into place. Oh, and this is fun. The this particular model and instructions was put together on June 17th, 2019. So it's not actually antique model kit, but it is a cool model kit based off of a 49 Mercedes police highway patrol car in 1/25 scale. But my birthday is June 17th, so it's pretty neat that the parts were put together and added to the box in my birthday. Okay, let's look at this. MPC, super snap. Snaps together, no cement needed. Follow numbers and assembly letters. Part numbers, colored 99 on down, chrome 100 on up. I don't know what that last part means, colored 99 on down, chrome 100 on up. I shall see what that means as I go. This is a 1950 Mercedes police car for highway patrol. So I guess we are going to start first with the tires. For the front tires, so the front tires and the rear tires, it appears I need pieces, 2 of pieces 105, 2 of pieces 44, and 2 of pieces 45. Let's see if they're labeled as such. Is there labeling on the... I see, so if you look here, it's labeled so that it says number 44, which I'm looking for, and also underneath it shows that this one is number 45, so we know that these are the correct pieces that I'm looking for. Now we have parts 44 and 45 for the front 2 wheels, as shown on these instructions there. And this one of these came off itself, but I shall take a look at my chrome thing. It says 105, 105, so I will now twist to remove. And then, because I've perfected with kind of more imperfections, I shall just slight imperfections here. And I have silver model paint. Should clean up cause it to require touch up later. Be very careful with these blades, they're very sharp. I always close it after I'm done with it. Okay, there we go. It's reflected. So you can probably see like that camera lens that I'm doing it on camera. Now, it just wants us to start by doing the front and rear tires by assembling this bottom piece here with this triangle shape, like all genders, yay, shape or something, I'm not sure. And then I'm going to just oh, snap. That made a good sound. Here is home. So that's step 1A, part A, technically. Yeah, this one needs a little bit of cleanup as well. I didn't hurt myself, but I was a little bit careless there, so do keep in mind that you need to be very careful. And then this, so that it looks like that on the side profile. And then pop in there. And then you're going to repeat that again for the back tires. So again, that's 44 and 45. Ah, I see, so this is 44, these are 45, I see now. Slightly out of order, but I don't think it's the end of the world. And then carefully twist to remove. And this one came off well enough that I don't need to do any fine tuning. This one's going to be a little more difficult to twist off because of the serial numbering that is on that's on this plate, so that everything matches with with labeled and it's on there, which is cool, but it kind of got in the way of doing the thing. And see, slightly, unfortunately, there is a little bit of a defect there, which I will probably later go back and repair by filling in that little bit of plastic and then trying to paint over it and see if I can find any matching chrome type thing. But if not, then that's fine. Just put this there, open it in. This one is a tight fit, it seems. But we shall prevail. I guess after that awkward pause of me just trying to do this and concentrating, I can talk about things. Now I can adjust it, but I always thought that you know, putting in the spare tire was really easy. So when I was like still in elementary school, the tire of one of the tires went on in my birth mom's car, and I just kind of figured it out. She was doing her own freaking out thing, and I just said, I'm gonna figure this out. And it was really freaking easy. You just had to follow the instructions, and the wrench to remove the lug nuts, I just had to stand on it and jump up and down on it a couple of times to be able to loosen things. And then the lifting jack thing's pretty simple. Okay, so now for step 2, you're going to retrieve pieces 42. Where are these labeled? Well, this has to be 42 because it matches the picture. Unless that's 42 and this one's not labeled. Okay. So I'm going to look for actual 42. It should be in one of the black pieces here. And this is labeled on the side, which is labeled, that says 42. I'm just looking at that upside down. Okay, 42. And looking at the reference photo, I believe that, yes, this portion is supposed to be removed, and then I can remove that. So now here is the separated underneath part, and then eventually we just go down like that. Okay. I'm not very good at the tutorial thing, I guess. So 109. We also need part 109. This is part 42. But I would like to actually pause for a moment and go retrieve a better supply or something, and check to make sure that what I'm doing can be safe. Not safe to do so in any way that's ergonomic. So I'm presuming that to remove this portion here, I need to do a gentle back and forth motion, and that has worked. However, there's a little bit here that is ugly, and that's where a more fine-tuned control item than the exact knife I was using before. And I'm going to retrieve another safety item. Do not do what I just did. I thought it would be safer until the moment that I did it, and I was very fortunate to not get injured. Anyway, there is a piece that we are never to utilize. Okay, I retrieved the safety item. This is a, allows you to put things on it. Anyway, I'm trying to approximately where we left off. I have removed the undercarriage thing from its spot in this, like this, and here is 42. And once I clean up just that tiny bit, wow, that broke off really beautifully. So it appears that I place it going two directions. I place this in this direction. I'm trying to elevate this just a bit, not for any cutting, but for showcasing what I'm doing. So it appears that facing this way, I'm going to face it to me as I'm looking at this. Facing this way on the part that would be at the bottom of the car, this is a cosmetic part, and so 42, well, it's one of the things that will attach. I'm going to retrieve 2 of 109 and 1 of 102. Okay, there's a 46 on here, 43. So 41 is this, and I do not need 45 or 43 right now, so I am going to check the qualified stuff. And it seems that based on number 2, and 2, that this is the appropriately matching shape, and looking for confirmation that yes, this, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it says 102, and then this and this are both 109. I shall endeavor to carefully remove 109 first, because doing so will give me easier access to carefully removing 102. And that came off pretty much just perfectly. There is a teeny bit I will fine tune. I'm keeping the scalpel safe away, and I'm going to remove this so that I have a stable surface while I just find the tiny imperfection. Hold it down, you might not be able to see, but in case you couldn't see, show you just what I did. This doesn't have a scalpel blade on it, and it was against a surface like this, and I took it and I just very gently shaved, but against this surface like this, so that my fingers were not in danger. Putting scalpel stuff away. That is 1 of 109. Here is the second 109. And yes, it appears. Oh, okay. Let's inspect for those that broke off on here. Anything particularly jutting out? A tiny bit, but seriously stuff, just to such a little degree. I'm not even gonna fine tune it with a scalpel. And now, as you can see, it's easier to access. 102. And it's a bit more challenging to work free. So I might actually intentionally break this section off and see if I can't do this with more precision. Okay, that doesn't seem to be cooperating with me very well. So I will now move on to using the scalpel to assist the start of the process, but doing it safely on a secure surface and away from. And while I'm doing this, I'm not going to talk for the sake of safety. I'm not going all the way through with scalpel. That would be very difficult. But I'm hoping that by starting a I'm going to switch the phrase. I'm pretty tired. By starting a groove, it'll be easier to get it to break off, and then I'm going to put the scalpel and clean up this where it came off much flatter, and do the same very carefully away from my body, not in the air, on a sturdy surface for that next part. Okay, now I believe I have all of the, and this is just a broken off piece of the just part scrap, so I believe I have part 41, part 42, and part 109, and also part 109, and then part 102. If you can see this at all, I'm not sure I doubt you can, but it looks like it wants me to do it with A and B, so A, take this part that looks a little bit like Batman's mask, and make sure that it's facing correct. Yeah. I'm returning in. So there was a silver alert, which I took the information to, and will keep my eye out, but I'm going to continue with this. I have here collected, hopefully in an elevation that you might be able to see, who knows. But hello again. Oh, one more time. Okay. Hello again. I have returned. Okay. Hello again. I'm back. There was a silver alert that came up on my phone, so I stopped to go look at taking that information, but I am otherwise ready to continue. So here I'm going to just that we covered that. So here are some of the instructions. If you can see it, I don't believe you can, but I'm going to put that anyway. But now I have collected part 42, part 102, 2 of 109, And, well, this is part 42. This is part 41, but 42. Anyway, and so it shows it wants us to assemble it starting with this one, and then this one, and then these two. So, it should be interesting to see if it, why it wants us to do it in that order, if it makes much of a difference. So, anyway, here is part 102, and it wants me to attach it to this part that looks like eyes on the part of this thing that looks a little bit like Batman, and have it, okay, let me see. Snap it here. And this wants me to, okay, there's another, so there are 3 section, little holes that you want to put into. There's one here, there, and there, and together, I want to carry here, insert into the thing, parts. So it's primarily this front one holding in place, which is tiny, but just be careful. I do know I'm facing the right direction. Okay, and now it wants me to put part 42 on part 41. Looking at the diagram, it's in the spots behind and in front of these wheels, and this triangle section is to be facing the back of the vehicle. No, it's to be facing the front of the vehicle, I mean, so that the sticker part is facing the back. So I need to find, okay. There are small little holes here, and here, as well as here, and here. And then you push everything all the way down in place. I'm doing it carefully, gradually, so I don't break anything. I know it's not the most best view of what I'm doing, but I'm not professional at this from anywhere. Okay, and then once you've done that, look, it creates like a axle parts for when you finish putting in trains later. So now, to attach parts 1 and 9, we'll do step C and D. So it seems that they're going to be facing outward, and there's a matter of, and I'm just matching it exactly so I can do this right. So one of these inserts into, okay, right. So there are holes here, and then this bend will be facing the other shiny part. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and this doesn't actually feel very permanent, this one particular popping in, unless I'm not, no, it's just, so I shall augment this particular attachment with glue, but let me just double check that I don't need to remove it in the flash later kind of thing. Okay, no, so I'm going to use some plastic glue anyway, because this one in particular doesn't really pop into place as much as it, I'm actually pretty careful, I'll still do a small dot of glue there, and then where this comes through and it's kind of flush, just a small, very, very small amount of plastic glue, and that'll chemically basically attach which parts to each other. Okay, that is step number 2 complete. Moving on to step number 3. Step number 3, it says, note, it says long hubs are used on front wheels, so there are 2 sizes of these. These are the short ones, the hub caps and hubs. These are the long ones, and it's telling me long hubs are used on front wheels, and so I need these parts which I prepared before. Front wheels, back wheels. And I also need axles, which are part 43. Which is, I believe, yeah, you probably almost definitely can't see it, but just believe me, it's right there. Next one axle, 2 axles. And here's what we have assembled so far. Looks like this is there, here. It's hard to see, but there's that piece there, and it forms together, sort of in a spot for the axles to go into, to hold the bar in place. And then wheels, long axles, wheels, shorter axles, shorter hub, and then the axles are hiding because they're little black rods, and it's a dark blanket, so they're camouflage. What's this? Over here, the intro, the Kate, and axles. Here's one. I'm still looking for the axle. There's the other one. Okay. 1 and 2. Put them onto a lighter colored surface so I can see them. Okay. Now I'm going to connect the front tires and see where they go through. Okay, so there is a, I keep getting pulled. There's a hole there. I'm not actually doing the how to, I'm not doing the like. Assemble this with me kind of thing. So, front tires at the long ones. And we're going to do something about this. It's not going to get. And so it shows that you insert one of the axles. Drop the other one under now. Do that one more time. Start with the longer one and insert it, but it doesn't appear to fit very well. So I'm going to ever so slightly modify these. Okay, now a secure surface. It should be done better with the pencil sharpener, but I don't have one on me right now. Okay, so what I've done on the first one, and then I will do it again on the second one once I locate it again, is I've just shaved off a tiny bit of the circumference of these to get it to fit inside better, because it just wasn't fitting. Which is kind of helping, but I'm going to test something, and then depending on the results of this test, we'll determine if I'm going to use glue again, even though this model is not supposed to apply glue. But here is the second part of the ears. Actually, if I'm logic about it, these are going to be stuck in well. They, in fact, would not be the things that's moving, it would be the axle here itself, so I will use the glue that I'm not supposed to clean. But just pro tip, I guess, if you are going to make snap together models that are supposed to require glue, you might need glue anyway. Both of these really fit. And I know for sure that they're the right piece. Okay. Make sure I just put myself in a okay, 43. Definitely the right piece. Okay, I got one end in. I'm going to use the longer one on the front. Stick this through the front, through the hole here, through the other side, and then I have glue certified to the inside of this. And I should add that I actually got some from the tires that I tried to avoid that, but I shall add a smidge more just to make sure it stays secure because the pieces really don't fit there. More glue than I need, so just okay, there's that. And I'm actually going to pause and find the pencil sharpener. This one should be farther in, but I don't want to over string things, so for now I'm just going to continue and place this one, which I seem I won't require glue, which has the benefit of being less permanent. I just have to thread this third up. I thread that through, and now let's see if attaching this side will be as easy. And pop in. There we go. That's perfect. That fits like it was supposed to. So I didn't need the pencil sharpener, actually. Okay, great. Now I'm going to put together the interior portion. So this not really better. These can be set aside while I grab the tan portions. Here is the main chassis, which is it a chassis? I'm honestly not sure, but the insides, main tan bit. That's my neighbors. They have lots of Cheetos, which is also makes me happy. But so I'm going to need 19, which is, this is 19, I just saw this is 20. And this is 18, so 17, 18, 19, 20. And that's where we're going to go. Just careful, careful. I'm fairly certain that that side portion isn't going to be shown, so I am going to not do too much fine-tune fixing it. Although I probably will on this one. In fact, I believe it's required, because this slots into these holes here. Okay, is this secure? Yeah, it's secure. Very carefully. Do that. I'm going to put the scalpel away. And now to very carefully remove the steering wheel, which I am sure will require me to do some fine-tuning very slowly, very gently, because this is a very fragile piece. And unfortunately, it took a little bit more out of the steering wheel than I would like, but that can't be helped. That's not something I can easily repair seamlessly, so that is alright. And there is a hole in this piece, which the steering wheel goes through, and it wants the order of assembly to be A. So there's this back, the back seat's here, and then there are tabs down here that go beside here. So actually, it might fit without me trying to repair it like so. I will push this down. Just trust the process. Okay, more forward. And you can't really see what I'm doing. Sorry. Yeah. That does make more sense now. How are we going to complete? That seems close. Okay. One is in place. So push this arm down. It's actually slightly forward just a bit more on the other side. Okay, and there we go. That is popped into place, and that is pretty secure. So next it wants me to attach the steering wheel to the speedometer radio column thing. Through the hole. Okay, a bit. Just a bit. How far forward is the one thing, but it doesn't really show. There is a part where it's thinner and where it starts being steady water, so I presume that's the distance I'm supposed to go to. And it shows it with the wheel part being horizontal. And then you see these grooves. Okay. I believe that then you insert and there is a spot for it to fit once you put it down there. I believe I might actually need to pull this so it's not all the way flush just yet to get this in place, because there's a section there for it to slide into it once it's all the way down. This piece over here. Push it forward enough, it's not getting in the way of the seat. What the heck? There's a spot down there, but it's difficult to get everything to fit it down there. Okay, what is going? All the way forward. I am just going to take my own initiative and do something there. And again, this is not the perfect model thing anymore. I'm going to knit. I'm shorten the steering column thing a bit, because otherwise it's just not going to go in like I need it to. So, shortened it by that much. Now I'm going to reinsert all the way forward to where it goes, and then continue and do it. Get that. Get that. See, finally, get this into the grooves of the thing, as you can see there, and then push down. And then I believe this is supposed to be angled down, so maybe I'm supposed to like little face. Okay, I'm just gonna trust it and assume it's gonna look good once it's all put together. Try to stick some on, I hope you can see what I'm doing. done. Now for step 5. Simply to place the window unit over the locating post and body and press slightly until it is fully seated. Now hook the rear locating holes of the interior over the rear post and body. Then carefully bend the front post back slightly until they fit through the front holes of the interior. All 4 posts through the holes. Press the interior into place. Okay, so looking at this picture and gathering my parts. These are external. So here is the glass piece, which doesn't actually look a lot. I guess it's short form, and but this. I'm not going to remove this little hook until I know I'm supposed to. So the interior. Okay, so it wants me to face this direction. And then this is the inside. That's the front. So, okay, so I'll figure this on. This goes right. So maybe you are supposed to keep that there. I'm not sure. Place the window unit over the opening post. Okay, so it's saying take this and making sure this is the correct way. Yeah, that makes sense. So take the glass components and place it down so that it's securely in place, like this. Then take the interior. Again, here is the front, and hook the back 2 portions. The rear facing holes, this is the rear facing holes, hook those rear facing holes. And then, oopsie, stay with me, carefully bend the model. Just hook the back ones. Okay. This is slightly difficult to do. Hook the back ones. Okay. And then there's one. Okay. Okay, hold this in place and then okay, there we go, that's one side. Then to get that last piece to read the, see what I'm doing? There we go. So you bend this slightly, and then that pops into place really secure. So now there's that step 5, and then step 6 is to collect parts. 46B. And those help connect the exterior body to our Mercury. And yeah, Batman part goes forward, the Batman piece part. So let's see. That means that I will take here these pieces. See which side the hole is. So there, attach these pieces, which is part 46, there. And that's what connects, those will connect, one of the anchors holds the top to the bottom. And I believe that these back little jetty things connect to the rear of the body. This is the body. So those will go, that goes over. Okay. And kind of angle this so that these can be slotted into place. There's one, there's 2, okay. See how that goes together? And now if you these ones. I have to be careful, but then this will pop in, and I need to match up. I'm not really sure if I can match up the turning. I know you can't see, but I can't do this and show you at the same time. I'm going to retouch that later, because that one definitely needs to be okay. And I'm trying to see that's supposed to go short sleeves in there, just under enough. Okay, there we go. That was, that was firing in with everything, all that, but I'm doing the best I can. And just see how it looks. Okay. Wait to the end to touch this for now. so that I can do it securely when there's something else that needs moving on. And that's that part. And then the end, we will be attaching the step 7 out of 8. We'll be attaching these parts. So A is 104. Right, so we have 112 on 8 and 3. I guess it's 12 or 102, I'm not sure. And then 101. Those were parts 105, 109, 6, 104. So 104 are the part 2 headlight things. Another one that it might actually be easier to work on H, 107, left and right first, so that I can get easier access to moving. So here's 107, left and right, which then attach to the back portion. Here. If they decide to cooperate with me. There we go. That's one side. Let's see, get that to go in. It doesn't really go in anymore, and I'm gonna let it be that much for now. Okay, yeah, moving on. Now I'm going to see if I can't. Then be better able to remove these. That's difficult. Okay. Because it's attached on 3 sides. Okay. Oh, there we go. Just patience and confidence, and I will clean these up with a scalpel for sure. So that means bring the surface to the working area. Sorry, I'm not talking as much during when I'm working with the scalpel. When I'm doing the actual trimming, I prefer to have my full concentration on what I'm doing. I really hope you can see. Because if you can't, but I can't see it. I know what you're saying. Also not talking very loudly. Right, so. Then these are the directions attached to these parts here. Ah, okay, that's actually interesting and helpful. So these, instead of being a circular shaped hole, this section is a U-shaped hole for the headlights to front and headlights to slot into. There we go. That's one in. There we go, that is 2. These are in. And then now is the front, I think it's grilled. Just see how it attaches. This is the grill. It's part 103. 103. Again, I think I'm going to remove the part 100 first so I can more easily work on part. There we go. Okay, I was able to clean up sufficiently with my fingers so I don't have to cut the scalpel. And then 110 goes in where this hole in the front is. And there are little circles there. Trying to figure out which way it's supposed to go in. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna go that way, and then I'm gonna pop in the cups. I can show you me kind of doing it because I'm actually looking from behind to see where the hole is. There we go, and that's in place. Now to attach part 100, which attaches to the these holes there. This makes much more obvious which way this is going, and it comes around the front of the car. Put these in holes. I'm actually going to do this so that it's more ergonomic. Okay, one side's in. The other side is in. A little bit more difficult about it. Let's see if I can. background noise. The window's open. And I have neighbors. I like having neighbors. Sorry, just not wanting to plug in. Don't want to break anything, so. Just trying and it's not the most safe way to do this, I don't think. Now let's jump in. Okay, finally, that one's in. Right, and then we have these adorable fun little parts here. Checking off these up. They're cute and moving. And I shall not get to them. And then facing, so these parts are the kittens facing inward. And they're definitely on the front and back. I'm going to place these for now and tentatively see about getting them in there more secure later. They're just such very delicate little parts that I don't want to damage them or break them. Okay, so that is of this. I've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and lastly I, which is this piece here, which is piece 101. And I'm confirming on here it says 101. And the 101 has these parts, and that's where the is. So it's the opposite to make sure that you don't do it the wrong way. And make sure that this little lip there is a tie. Okay, then again, this piece, I haven't done any modifications to it. It fits now, but it's definitely going to need some glue to hold it in place. So I will set this piece aside on that one. And now it wants me to assemble the top plate and step plate. With part 110. Okay, here is part 110. And it slots into the top part. And it's symmetrical, so you can just okay. Okay. There we go. That one separated properly. And then it wants part 111, which is a little horn piece. And that attaches to part 112. So there's the horn piece, okay, and the other piece that it attaches to. I see that's pretty good, and that's attached. And then it connects to, oh, so it wasn't actually symmetrical, but I got it on the right side anyway, so again, this slots into there. I don't want to put it on backwards, just want to swap it. Let's see if I can assemble this one easily if I do it this way, but this shows, yeah, that's that piece, right? 112, I think it is. That's 112. Okay, so it's not actually solid, it just looks solid because of the chroming. It's difficult because the chrome adds millimeters of extra thickness, and that'll add up. Really quickly. Yeah, that is not one to fit, so in case I'm going to have to. It's not going to fit in a bundle sharpener, so very, very carefully. Trying to just remove the chrome. It's kind of difficult, but and I think it's like just a tiny bit because there's an infection there that I can repair and get stuff out. And then, right, this one goes with the red will be on the driver's side. That's the one with the hole and therefore this hose. It's just this way. Come on. You can do this, you can fit. Success, okay. I did have to get a little creative and modify some things, but yeah. So in part 114 of these. Part 116 is. Part 113. This one is an antenna. That's why it's so tiny. But here is one of the. Okay, so this is repeat on both sides, and it's. So, to do that, you have this piece connected to this piece, and it's on both sides, so it doesn't actually need to look symmetrical. And then, what holds it all into place is the red bit, which is the thing. With the red bit, where it sticks out and has the longer connecting rod that's connected directly to the red plastic bulb, and then this just, it doesn't click onto anything. This piece is what clicks it in once you put that through. Okay, attaching that. This one is not too short on this side. So that's another piece that I will glue on. Actually glue now. Because when it broke off, I didn't break it off. I think part of it was supposed to be broken. Right, so I'm going to put some glue and cut. And then cut slightly. Stick it back on. Put this through. So now those two pieces are glued. I have some glue on this side to the inside of this. Just like that. Oh, and actually, I realized I have to add more glue around the rim of this because the issue of the connecting rod attached to the red plastic light isn't long enough because it broke off from me. The glue is actually going to be mostly connecting to base parts to each other rather than having it pop in. And then, now that that's assembled and that's facing forward, I can return these into their spots. Okay, last part. I hope I can do this successfully, and I hope that there aren't sections that I didn't in this recording. That's the instructions for this part. The decals on the back. Cut the decals apart, close to image, apply one at a time. Dip decal into tepid water until paper backing loosens. Moisten area of model where decal is to be applied. To aid in positioning, slide decal partly off of paper backing. Place decal on model face up and slide paper backing away. Thoroughly blot out the excess water, air bubbles, and any excess emulsion with soft lint free cloth. Allow time to dry before handling. So I think I am, just for the sake of precision, I'm going to use my scalpel. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing on the side angle camera right now. Still can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just pouring it on my face. I'm doing this very carefully on a proper matte hard surface. I'm going to do slightly more than exactly around decal on purpose. On account of that way, well, I guess depends on the decal. Close to the decal edge. Get that one not to the hole there. So that they have a little bit of the extra leeway in the clear area. Oh, and realize that you're going to be cutting out the directions to do this. But I assume I need to re-score that to detach there. Be very careful when working with the scalpel. the first decal, and I'm going to see if yes, this little plate is sufficient. I'm going to add water. And do this one at a time, as it says. Okay, it's getting all curly. And I'm going to gently bind it. Add some more water to it. Something neat in model kits is that the decals aren't exactly stickers. They'll stay to the on the model better because they're water activated adhesive type things. Oh, it's gonna turn the cloth. Now very, very gently. Very gently, I'm going to this away, and then position. I'm not seeing any major edges. That lines up to where these guys slot in. A little blip up. But there, that's in place, isn't it? Come on, gently, Sophie. Gently, Sophie. Okay, that first one is in place. Just removing any outline bumps while holding it in place so that it doesn't shift. Okay. And then I don't have to often use this pink row to dab away excess moisture because it's the right kind of, doesn't have fuzzies or anything like that. Okay, put this aside while I figure out which decal to do next. Interesting. So then it looks like, where do the, there's an MPC here on the thing. Is it fingerprint? Why would that one of police be backwards? That's what it says to do. So on the sides go highway patrol, so I shall work on very carefully cutting out highway patrol next. Passenger defeated. Or rather, I'm going to cut out, separate people or police first. Okay. That's aside, and then to this decal. Very carefully. Okay. Very carefully. Again, I don't intend to speak while working carefully with the sample. I think I'm going to actually cut these pieces apart first and then attach them so that just so it feels like it must be the most advisable method of doing this. Okay. I'll keep those together because they're small for now. Okay. Set this aside and look at the. Yeah, okay, that one is backwards. I'm going to see how with the paper with it, and then go back and tighten up the. How close to the edge of the printed decal I'm going to cut to the decaling paper. Bring this back up now. These two will be separated later. I'm putting this side here. I think I'm going to do next the front place symbol. Waiting for that to like start its proper natural, do what it's supposed to do, delaminating from the paper so that it can then And whoa! Oh, there we go. It's starting to slide off. As you can see, it's starting to slide off. Which means I'm going to start. And then center it. Okay. Make sure that's properly centered. And wrinkle free. And interestingly, the 54 and police are supposed to be separate details, so I'm going to cut separate those two. Okay. And work on the 54s. As for instructions, one at a time. In the water. That. I think I can actually put more than one into the water. Let it start to slough off. And then only attach one at a time. And so the 54 is supposed to go. I still have it on the antenna, so I'm going to glue that. If we're supposed to go like under the glass in that area. Okay. Come here, guys. Come here. Okay, so then that's under here. I think I'm going to put it parallel to a little, I think I'll put it this parallel to, or rather, farther back, and put it there, because that seems what it is, the picture the box is showing. And it's going to be backwards because I'm doing the front facing camera, so I'm doing better for recording of this one. So, okay, are you ready? Other 54? Okay. Other 54 is ready. It's going to go. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. 54. 54. Ah, careful. Very careful what you're touching while you're doing this. And on the back it's police and then 54, so I'm going to separate the police pieces, the police first, so that I can know exactly how high up to put the 54. Okay. Put that back there. It's ready for being put into the water soon. And then police into the water. Come on, it's okay. Oh, okay, careful, because it seems this is broken into 3 pieces, probably because I accidentally, was it gentle enough with it? As I was checking if it were still attached to the page, so be patient. Patience is a virtue, for a reason, because it's not easy, and when we practice patience, in most situations, it benefits us in the long run. Let's see, is there a picture of the back of the car? Nope, but it does show that the 54 goes above police on here. Okay, 54. Okay. Does it really not show me? Okay, no, it does. I found a picture. Let's go slightly further up. Trunk. Okay. There we go. And where are the other two? And then the police goes on the front sides, both sides. Can we do that next? And then where do the emergency 911s go? Just says police, police 54, police 54, that one, highway patrol. Mercury there, right? But it doesn't show me where emergency 911 is, so I'm just gonna. Decide for myself. I'm gonna put the emergency 911s. Are you ready? It's floating. It wants one place on the side, I think. How far back? Let me try to put the tires. So it goes. The E ends approximately where the Mercury, where it says that on the. Very careful not to disturb that one. I to the side. Okay, those are on. Now for the highway patrol, and I will do the emergency. Oh, what's on here? 54. Where'd you come from? You came over here. Good thing I saw that. So, highway patrol thingy 1, put that mess. Highway patrol thingy 2. Wait for those that attach on the paper. And while I'm waiting for that, I will separate these two tiny little emergency 911 things. I'm going to do them last because they're so tiny. It's interesting because it's so tiny and it had less grip to hold onto them while being careful. I had to score it twice. I'm just gonna attach. Oh, one of them is ready. As you can see, it's starting to come off. Just careful, be careful. Come on. Okay, highway patrol. Go for the door. Attach. Into the door. This would actually go on this side. So, see. Yes, okay. So these ones, the highway patrol, actually does matter quite a bit which side you put on because they're shaped slightly differently. Highway patrol. Slot that properly. Police. That's good, no wrinkles, that's good. Now that's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Put these on the back, it's too fixed. Come on. Okay. Okay, and finally I'm going to do the emergency 911 bits. I'm not going to show gluing this and this because I need to actually wait for the decals to be firmly in place before I can really work with that. So I'm going to sneak this little logo that I think is probably of the makers. Yeah, that shows who the model company is by, who makes these to scale their models. There's another one somewhere. If I can only find one, that's fine. Ah, here it is. Okay, emergency 911 is attached. I carefully just put on my fingers because it's not going to. I think I'm going to put it here. Maybe I can think back door. That looks fantastic, I think. Do the same here. Put this right here. And put back part of police in second from up there. Okay. There. Emergency 911. Slightly past there. On top of the logo. Up straight. fixing some minor things, making sure everything is in a way I'm happy with. Fine with a kind of that. That one's probably hopefully starting to basic here. Okay, so I put emergency 911 in place. That I think makes a lot of sense. I'm not showing anyone the instructions, but it comes with it. And on the picture thing. Anyway, finally, these. I'm going to hide these decals. Carefully, if this stuff's not the dirt out there. Underneath. Yeah, make them symmetrical. There, I put the decals for the who made the model kit. There, and then the decals, just gonna confirm that they're looking good to me. No, should be good. There we go, decal, looking good, looking good. Looking good. What's gonna do? Looking good. Looking good, 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 good. Okay, decals are on in place and looking good. Now I just have to, I won't quite be able to. This goes here. One more copper attachment. And then this goes here. And the final piece. The antenna. For the radio signals. And there is a hole in the back here for it. Anyway, I'm gonna do the final like secure assembly off camera, just because I need to work with some glue and secure some pieces more permanently, and this needs to dry for a while before I can do that, and then I'll show like a little video of what it looks like at the end. Thank you for watching. You'll see that part right now for you. Okay, here is the model complete with all of the decals in place and the portions which required glue to either attach or secure permanently, now glued and secured in place properly. So here is the 1/25th scale 49 Mercury emergency police highway patrol vehicle, modeled at 1/25th scale. On the front, as I'm sure the real police car that it was modeled after, for whatever reason the police front emblem is backwards. But hey, that's as it was then. There's a small issue in the decaling here, which occurred while I was working on it that I haven't been able to try and repair with paint, but I'll probably leave it as is and consider it's a well-used police cruiser for highway patrol. And then, as you can see here, are the tires with the chrome plating, and the tires say Goodyear and something else. And then police is here, like with the model, and then underneath it says Mercury. In the picture, the Mercury is silver emblem, but I don't know how I would be able to accomplish that easily on this model, so it'll stay raised in black and white. And then here is the highway patrol decal and the emergency 911 decal that I placed here based on how I think they have been placed in my memory of modern police vehicles. And then the 54 as the model instructions. And now we have the back of the vehicle with the chromed backlights, chrome rear fender, and radio antenna that I still remember from older cars when I was younger. And then here is the other opposite side, the exterior that shows the antenna and its attachment, as well as the mirrored decals on the other side. And I shall draw attention to the thinner axle design here, where these tires go on the inside of the car frame, and then here at the front they are wider and they protrude out. Then I will attempt to zoom in briefly to the interior. Though it's difficult to see, there is a highly detailed dash with the equipment in tan color as the actual car that this would be modeled after, as well as 2 layers of seating, and the steering wheel, which is also in a tan color. And the model is such that it's designed as if the driver and passenger side front door windows have been rolled down, but this window and this window on each side remain present, as is the rear window and the window dash window. And these appear here. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but they're part of the vehicle. I'll have to research that later. And it has a detail of windshield wipers. And then underneath, you have the interior appearance based on the real car, where these tires are here. You can see where the spare tire would have been kept, as well as part of the trunk component there, and the axle frame and system for the back tires that I presume possibly allowed for the rear wheels to turn. And then we have that part which indicates likely that the power and engine was at the front, which then carried through by this spinning like that into this section. And on second thought, the design of the vehicle is definitely a front wheel drive, where that's the power is coming from, because the engine there, but also because that is where the turn radius is, which allows for steering. And so the back wheels are fixed and the front wheels can shift. And then the rest of these axle externals, I'm not entirely sure of the exact purpose of, and the model itself does not contain a visible engine, unless the engine is assumed to be in the trunk and it's a front trunk car, but it doesn't appear as such. I am not entirely sure. But finally, I have included the decals that showcase the company that makes these model kits. And at the top of the vehicle are the flashing lights, as well as the horn to, I guess, send out the police car sound. So yeah, here is the completed